guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am back with another cake video, and as you guys read in the title and are seeing right here, I will be making this flower basket. So I wanted to do something for Valentine's, which is coming up, and I feel like I've done a good amount of Valentine's cakes with you guys, especially on my Facebook Live. So I wanted to do something that I've never done before, period. I've never done it here, and I've just never done a flower basket before, so I wanted to do this right here. First, I had an idea to do kind of like different flowers, but then after brainstorming a little more, we went with just red roses. So yeah, we're gonna be making this cake right here just in time for Valentine's. Before we get started on this cake, I want to thank Best Fiends for sponsoring this video. So Best Fiends had reached out to work with me, and of course I had to download it and play it myself before putting you guys on and tell me why I'm already on level 32. Best Fiends is a free to download puzzle adventure game where you solve thousands of fun puzzles and collect little characters called Fiends. I haven't played this game so much. It is such a stress reliever. It gives me something to do on my free time or as I'm waiting for my cakes to bake. I also love a game that makes me think a little bit, and if you do too, then you are going to love Best Fiends. Like I mentioned, it is a fun puzzle game where you basically defeat slugs and collect characters called Fiends. It makes you think a little bit, de-stress, and honestly, it's just fun. I also recently put my best friend on the game, and we love competing against each other, see who's made it farther in the game, what level we're on. I'm excited to keep collecting more Fiends, and if you guys want to download the game for free, you guys can use my link down in the description and get $5 worth of gold, as well as free energy, again by using my link in the description. And remember, it's like friends without the R, Best Fiends. Thank you Best Fiends for sponsoring this portion of the video, and now on to the cake. So to start off, I of course already went ahead and baked my cake yesterday, and now I sent it to you guys. Here is my cake. I did 3 layers just to start off with the base of the basket. I already went ahead and stacked it. You guys have seen me do that multiple times. So basically I just put the cake, a little bit of frosting, another cake, a little bit of frosting, and then the other cake until I get it as tall as I want it. I think this is a pretty good height for a basket, so I'm gonna stop right here. I also went ahead and make these 2 chocolates, and then this bottom one is actually marble cake. Guys, I have a lot of leftover frosting from Cake Miss, so I basically went ahead and used all of that, not frosting. I had a lot of leftover Cake Miss from Cake Miss, so that's why I added just different flavors on here. So now to give this the shape of a basket, of course baskets come in all different shapes and sizes. I wanted for this one to be, you know, a nice, decent, average size, and then also for it to be kind of like a rectangular one with the edges curved out. I was between a circle basket or a rectangle one, but we obviously went with the rectangle. Also, I do like to freeze my cakes when I carve, but I didn't freeze this one, so it's just very room temperature, which it still works. It just gets a little bit messier when it comes to carving because the bread is like really soft. So this might get a little bit messy, but I'm gonna start off by carving the corners off. Whoop. And I'm doing about 1 inch of carving out. So now that my corners are off, I'm just gonna play with it a little bit more, get it as smooth as possible as I can around the corners. That way I get that oval shape that I'm looking for. Okay, so now that I have my cake carved to how I want it, I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more frosting and then put this other cake on top. I actually purposely did not shave this one off. I want this little stomach to sit on the top of the cake. That way, that's gonna give it volume when I start putting in the flowers. Instead of me creating the volume with the flowers, I wanted to create the volume with the cake. That way you get more cake rather than flowers. It'll all make sense. Also, I've never done this cake before, so I'm kind of just brainstorming as I go, but I think this is how I should do it. That way we get some volume. And now to pop this on top. This one is vanilla, so there's gonna be a lot of flavors in this cake. And I'm gonna curve this out. I did want to curve this out after I curved out the basket. That way, like in my brain, I wasn't thrown off by the shape. So the basket stops here. This is just for volume on where the flowers are gonna go. And now before moving on, I'm gonna go ahead and crumb coat everything just to seal in all of the bread before we get to piping the basket. I'm gonna use here some buttercream. I was between buttercream or the whipping cream, but this one has just a thicker consistency, which I feel like will make it easier for me to pipe the basket. So I'm gonna use this right here and just crumb coat the whole basket. So I decided to actually crumb coat it using a bag. I think it'll just make it easier also because this cake is pretty tall and I did not freeze it before doing this. So it has a lot of, you know, it's just very soft. So this will just make it easier to crumb coat. Okay, so now that I'm basically done with crumb coating, I'm gonna use this right here, which has come in handy so much for cakes that are shaped oddly like this, or like circular edges, and just give it one last smooth and pop this in my freezer just to really let it set before I go in with a second coat and pipe in the basket. Okay, all done. Now to pop this in the freezer, and then I'll be right back once it has been in there for about 20 minutes. It's been 20 minutes, pop this out of the fridge. Now to get going with the basket. So I'm gonna use my spatula to mark up to where the basket's gonna go. So it's going to be right around here. And now that I have that, I'm gonna use this piping tip. This is actually called a basket tip. It's not the mini one, it's like the middle-sized one, and there's also like a huge one. But I'm using this size right here with my piping bag, of course. And I'm basically gonna get to piping the basket. As you guys are gonna see, it's kind of hard to explain, but very easy to understand once you guys see it. So that's basically what I'm gonna do now. Pipe the whole entire basket and make this come to life. So if you guys have me on Instagram, I had shared a picture with you guys of how I was envisioning to do a basket, asking you guys if it was a video you guys wanted to watch. And everybody told me that basket was not it. You guys loved the concept, just not the flowers that I was adding into the basket, which is why we all decided to go with red roses. I think it would also just make it more Valentine's vibe and just a little bit more clean, not so like Mother's Day grandma vibes as you guys had told me. So with that being said, I went ahead and bought these flowers. Well, these roses, they are actually artificial. That's how you say it, right, guys? They are artificial roses. I was between using artificial or real roses, but I decided to just go with these. They're a little bit easier to work with and also easier prepping to put them on the cake. So all I did was buy my roses, and by the way, you can use any kind of flowers. And then I wrapped some cling wrap this right here. That way it is fine for me to stab them into my cake. And I already have all of the roses I will be using wrapped and ready for me to add on to the cake. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I will fast forward this. I feel like when I do cakes with flowers, I kind of play with them and move them around. So that's what I will do now until I like the way my roses are placed. This part right here. Okay, there we go, guys. I had to play with the flowers quite a bit. I also, like always, bought a little too many flowers just in case I needed some other colors. I did try to add one of these, but it was just not giving. I think all red roses looks so much nicer. And now to really make it look like a basket, give it that pop, I'm gonna add the handle right here, which is right here. So for this, I just used wire and then I wrapped some fondant around the wire. That way I can just pop this on the side and make it, you know, give it the basket look. Okay, the handle has to go wider so it looks like the basket is like in. There, you kind of like that. Oh my god, don't tell me I need to make this longer because I don't have more space to make it longer. And then, good thing I can like really get messy in here and then the roses just cover it up. She's looking a little wonky. Okay, hold up. Oh, cute! Okay, that's the front of the cake. So I always like to look for like the pretty side of the cake or the best side of the cake to be the front of the cake, and I think we have that right there. Since I did start my piping on this side, I'm gonna make this the back, and I think that's pretty much it for this cake. So that was it for this video. If you guys end up recreating it, don't forget to tag me. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Let me know also down below what plans you guys have for Valentine's. Fun fact, we have nothing planned this year for Valentine's, so that should be interesting. But again, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!